Good morning, guys. This is Sandy White from Simply Fit, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And on today's segment, we're going to be talking about 4 things that you can do to improve your mental focus. And they're super easy. And we're going to jump into those right after this. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about 4 things that you can do for mental clarity, mental focus, whichever one you want to use. And one of the things is something so simple that pilots do. You know, the people that you get on the plane with? Yeah. They do something so simple as they point and they repeat. So if you want to make sure that you're doing things before you leave the house without getting a half a mile away from your house and going, oh shoot, did I do A, B, C, D, E, F, G? You just point. Did I turn the stove off? Point, check, stove turned off. You point, you repeat. You point, hair dryer turned off, check. You point, window closed, check. Something so simple like that. That's basically what your everyday pilots do. They have a checklist of what they need to make sure is working properly, or that they've checked to identify if there's a need for improvement or gas, whatever the case is. They point, they say check. Point, window closed, check. Point, stove turned off, check. That's how easy you can make sure that you are remembering things and that you are clearly focused on what needs to be done at that place and time. Now, let's jump into number 2. So number 2 would be looking at greenery. We are into spring, so things are popping up. So you're seeing the leaves come off the ground, you're seeing flowers come up, you're seeing trees turn from brushy, looking like they're in dire need of hydration, to turning lush and beautiful. So I'll give you guys a couple examples. I have a beautiful, I don't even know what this is, but it was like, it did look like a cherry blossom. Then I have one in the back that has flowers coming off of it, and it turns into this beautiful magnolia. So let me just give you a couple examples of what I'm talking about. So this is my tree in front of my house, and like I said, it used to be a pink, I'm about to say the wrong kind, but it used to be this pink tree that looked like one of the cherry blossoms. Now it's pink, or some kind of reddish green. But just looking at nature, being outside in nature, assists you in your mental focus. Let me show you the other tree. I think it's also gorgeous. So this one here is my one. I think this is the one that turns into the magnolia. So you can see the flowers popping off the tree, and they go from yellow to this beautiful white. But I can sit here for hours and I look at them. They're not lemons, they're literally, let me see if I could get closer. They are these beautiful flowers that pop off, and then they turn into this beautiful magnolia. Looking at nature and communing with God helps you so much with your mental focus. All you're going to do is you're going to point, and you're going to simply say out loud, oven off, check. Window closed, check. Keys and bag, check. It's just that simple. And with the nature views, like I'm showing you guys these trees, I know y'all trying to figure out, like, why does she keep showing these trees? Because it says it banishes brain fog with a leafy view. leafy view. It's just coming outside in nature and you're just looking at the trees, you're looking at the flowers, you're looking at the grass. And if you have a foggy mind, that's basically going to help you diminish it with this 40-second break to glance at the pretty spring greenery just outside your window. Or you can go, like I've always told you guys about going to Jug Bay or any of the reservoirs that y'all have in your area. That's the one that's closest to me, and I super duper like it. And I'm very sure we are done with our 40 seconds. So if you were having brain fog, you don't have it now. Okay, so we're gonna jump into our next brain hack. And if you guys have never heard of this, the brain hack is simply using a paper clip. And not just using a paper clip, but using a paper clip and now using your brain to think of all of the different things that you can use this paper clip for. And not just the paper clip, but any and every everyday things, from a brick, a spoon. What are other uses you can use for a brick, a spoon, a piece of paper, other than what we typically use it for? Like, you can use a brick for a stand. Say you need it for your cell phone. You can paint it, you can make it look gorgeous, not just a regular brick, but now it is a stand for your cell phone. While it's outside, you can use a spoon for holding up a new plant that you're trying to grow. You can take it and twirl around the I think it's called tool. I'm not a gardener, but a pipe cleaner. And not hard, but like, take the spoon, put it in the ground, and then take the pipe cleaner and wrap it around the spoon and the new plant so the plant grows up straight. The reason we're doing these things is because a lot of individuals are having challenges with Alzheimer's, and they are coming up with a cure, but until they do, it was prolong any situation that you're having with memory loss, with eating better, sleeping better. And when I say eating better, I mean adding in more leafy green vegetables, sleeping more. Giving yourself 2 hours a night isn't going to help. And if you're finding that you're sleeping less or you're having trouble sleeping, that's where you need to start at. What's going on that's causing me not to sleep properly? Eating your vegetables before you eating anything else, that's a hack. That way you know you get in what you're supposed to. And then just proper care. You gotta take care of yourself. That's from the top of your head to the sole of your feet. This is why we're talking about these brain hacks. So I'm gonna give you just a little bit of science behind the using the everyday items for uses outside of what we typically utilize them for, and then we're going to jump into the last one. So the brainstorm better with a paper clip I was telling you guys about, that is just allowing your brain to quickly be creative and to boost the brain cells in your dormant area of your brain. You want to be on all cylinders. You want these creative juices flowing. And by gathering a paper clip and thinking of 5 new ways to use it, like as a bookmark, and I know some of y'all have done this, a zipper pull, or a tiny phone stand. And I don't know if you all know this, but the University of Minnesota study found this alternative use exercise in which you can come up with new ways to use common objects like a brick, a rubber band, or a candle, spoon, or a sock. Primes your brain to think outside the box. Guys, do you know how incredible that is? You are so much more than what you're giving yourself credit for. And yes, we've all fallen off the horse, off the course, whatever you want, you're used to saying. But you can stop. You're not what you're seeing. If you're like, I've been forgetting things. Okay, now that's a good starting point. Now take some of these hacks and utilize them in your everyday life so you can get back on course. What I want to do right now is jump into number 4. I want to take a quick break and just let you know that this broadcast is sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen is a supplement. And before I jump into more of that, I want to let you know it is, when I say supplement, it's like a puzzle piece, the last puzzle piece or a puzzle piece to complete the whole picture. It is not the puzzle piece, but it is there as a supplement. So as an example, you're doing the jigsaw puzzle and one piece missing, it makes the picture better. You understand what I'm saying? It is not the picture, but it makes the overall picture better. You still need to, as I mentioned before, you still need to eat right. So including more vegetables, half of your meal should be leafy greens and or make your plate colorful. But that's all in the vegetable area, low glycemic foods. You want to make sure you're sleeping better. You want to make sure that all of these components are combined together. And if you're doing all of those things and you feel, hey, I am on my game, this is where I need to be, I feel I'm at my best right now, great. If you feel, as I've been using as an example, I got one puzzle piece missing, add in Prevagen. Prevagen is going to help you to think better, focus better, and be on your game the way that you are used to, or the way that you want to. So check it out. It's awesome. I give it to my kids, and we supplement with that. There are some days where they have a lot going on in school, and instead of having them all like razzle dazzle, I give them a Prevagen. I make sure they're sleeping well. I make sure they're eating right. For the most part, that does a trick. But then there are times where there are a lot of tests going on. The standardized test usually gets them around that time. So we will supplement with the Prevagen. But you need to check to see what works best for you. They have chewables, they have regular strength, they have extra strength. You check and see what works best for you, and then add it into your everyday life to see if it gives you that perfect picture that you're looking for. Let's jump into number 4. Number 4, according to Johns Hopkins University, something so simple as scribbling. This is an easy brain hack because I think we all do it. You're trying to remember a name. You're trying to learn a new skill set. You're trying to learn a new language. Well, according to Johns Hopkins University, just scribble. Scribbling, according to Johns Hopkins, explains that handwriting boosts memory and learning more than typing into your cell phone or computer. And the reason they say writing by hand engages physical movement, sight, and sound, and this combination strengthens brain connections that make new information stick. Okay guys, here's a bonus for you according to a Japanese study. The fragrance from roses will boost your brain plasticity. And all that means, in layman terms, your brain is capable of changing for the better. Regardless of your age, you can change it. What they did was MRI scans on women who missed their clothes with the scent daily for 4 weeks, found a significant increase in gray matter, and that's an area in the brain that shows vital for processing information, memory, and cognition. Your brain is capable of changing. So, guys, we went through a lot. We went through 4 hacks. These are not all of the hacks, but these are the best ones and the easiest ones that my team and I thought you can jump into right now. So the first hack we said was using the pilot's trick. Basically pointing and you're saying check. Like you point to the stove, make sure it's off. Point, stove, off, check. Going through your checklist. And then your second one, being at nature for 40 seconds, getting that boost out just in 40 seconds, looking at nature's greenery. Then the next one would be your brain hack using a paper clip or any everyday object, but using it, like coming up with 5 different other ways or more if you can, of other ways that you can use those everyday objects. And they gave y'all an example, which I know most of y'all have used before, which is using a paper clip as a zipper when the zipper broke. And then the last one is simply scribbling. Scribbling makes your brain function a lot better because you're using motion from your hand, and it's the signal to the brain is doing that brain hand-eye coordination effect right there. Those are 4 easy hacks that you can get started now if you need brain hacks to start thinking better. And then if you feel I'm eating well, I'm not doing any processed foods, I'm drinking, I'm staying hydrated, my water. When I say drinking, you're drinking your water to stay hydrated. I'm sleeping, I'm doing the self-care, but I feel like, ooh, I just got this little edge. I just feel like I just need this little bit to like, boop, get me to my next step. Or that last puzzle piece, as I like to use as an example, add in Prevagen. All right, with that being said, you guys know I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.